I'm honored to welcome our guest, Brian McKinley, Director of Education and Community Engagement at the Black Rep. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm glad you're here. And let's start by having you introduce yourself and sharing a bit about your role and what brought you to this work.
So I'm an actor, director, as well as the Director of Education and Community Engagement at the Black Rep. So what that means is I direct and manage a lot of our education programs at the Black Rep, including but not limited to the touring company that takes TYA shows out into the community and the schools, as well as teaching artists and residencies that teach classes and workshops in the schools, and our summer performing arts camp. That's 7 to 8 week summer camp over the summer.
Okay, that's quite a bit. So what specifically would you say your mission is? And I don't know, do we pick one? Do we pick your educational role and go with the mission there?
We can. It's sort of, a lot of our stuff intertwines, I like to say. So the main sort of goal of and mission of the Black Rep is to produce plays and musicals by predominantly playwrights of the African diaspora or plays from the African American perspective. And in that, our education programs are sort of essential and core to that mission.
So do people enroll or sign up? What's that partnership look like?
Absolutely. So depending on the program, students either register online. They also, their school can book us to come out. So they're already in the school and the school books us to come and teach a workshop or a residency, or the students can come to us.
Okay, so a lot of opportunities. And what about the age ranges?
So our programs start from 7 and go all the way up into adulthood. So our summer camp and classes teach usually from 7 to 17. And then we also have classes for adults as well. And it's really amazing to see how the arts change the lives of students and how you can see their brilliance and their imagination awaken when they're immersed in the arts.
Do you have a specific example there?
I have a couple, actually. This past summer, I was teaching some of our students an improv workshop, and we were playing the same games over and over again. And there was this one week, there was this moment where one of the students came up and they started to understand the game a little better, and they gave a suggestion. And then it just sort of opened the world for all of the other students, and they started enjoying it and loving it. And they're like, we love this game. We want to play this game again. We have so many more ideas. And so it's really amazing to see how students really awaken in the arts.
Yeah, and I'm sure learning a great deal about the arts and their future. Do most pursue theater or the arts?
A lot of them do, and if they don't pursue it, they sort of keep it in their lives. So I've helped many students with college admissions or auditions for other shows and programs in the area. But also there are so many alumni who come back to the Black Rep who have gone into different careers, but they want to keep the Black Rep in their lives. One example is the first person I worked with who was a teen tech at the Black Rep. And she became a teacher and brings her students to our intergenerational matinees. And her son is actually now a teen tech working on the current production Radio Golf that opens this week. So it's really amazing to see how the art stays in people's lives, even if they don't pursue it as a career.
Right. So then even you guys are mentoring, but they become mentors.
Absolutely.
So it's a cycle.
Yeah, that just keeps on going and keeps getting passed on.
Okay, well, fabulous. What about community? I mean, do you have arrangements specifically with schools or the community?
Yeah.
Let me ask more formally. How does the Black Rep collaborate with schools, families, and community organizations?
In many different ways. So there are a bunch of schools that we collaborate with currently that we've collaborated with for years. they want a range of our programs. So one of them is our residency program, where we come and teach weekly residencies in schools. And that can sort of be structured to whatever the teacher's needs are. One school, for example, loves our improv and our public speaking classes because of the growth she sees in her students. The students usually love improv because they get to sort of make up what they want and do what they want. It really opens up their imagination. But the teachers really love our public speaking workshops because students who were once super quiet and reserved and they couldn't get to speak a lot are giving like full speeches and have like found this self-confidence. So it's really amazing, the community outreach that we can sort of reach with that. And there are plenty of community centers like libraries. They book every year one of our touring shows, which are it's one of our most important programs because it not only brings live theater to different areas of the community and in different communities, but it also reinforces morals in students and teaches about Black history, which many people don't get enough of in schools.
Very true. Yeah. Well, and then are you specifically to St. Louis?
No, not really. We travel around the Metro St. Louis area. So with a lot of our workshops, we get mostly sort of St. Louis area schools, but our touring company actually can go wider, to a wider range. For example, we go further into Missouri as well as Illinois. We just went last weekend to my alma mater, Western Illinois University, to do a couple of touring shows for students in that community, as well as teach a devised theater workshop to some college students. So we will go wherever we're called, Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. Does that present a challenge, or are there other challenges with what you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, it does. It can. A lot of times it's funding. Sometimes schools hear what the fee is and they can't afford it. And so we sometimes are able to find funding, other sources of funding, but that can be a barrier a lot of the times. Specifically with our AmeriCorps program. I don't know if you heard, but AmeriCorps recently got its federal funding cut. And so that sort of ended a lot of the programs, which was a huge sponsor for our fellowship program, which supports the touring company and the residencies that we teach. So funding can be a huge barrier sometimes to arts access.
Well, maybe we have someone listening that could help you out. I mean, do you have a call to action for anyone who would like to sponsor, support, grants?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be amazing. They can visit our website at theblackRep.org to find out ways that they can give. We have a lot of giving initiatives. The Rosalind Madden Put a Child in a Seat program supports bringing students to the theater, and as well as our fellowship program, which does a lot of our community outreach work.
So I would assume anyone listening to this, go to your website and it would outline all the different programs and any kind of criteria or what they need to do to get involved.
Yep.
Brian, earlier you mentioned summer camps. Tell me a little bit more about those because we're about to head into summer.
Yeah, absolutely. We're preparing for that right now, actually. So our Summer Performing Arts Camp, or SPA, as we like to call it, is about a 7-week summer camp that is all day, and students sort of get to learn about all aspects of the arts in that as well. Typically, we have 4 core classes, what I call them, which are theater or acting, music, dance, and creative writing. We always wanted to make it a point that the students continue to write over the summer so that they don't fall behind in those skills. And then there's sort of a bunch of elective classes, as I like to call them. So depending on who we have teaching that summer, it could be anything. We've had baton twirling, devised theater, a step class. We've had photography, arts and crafts, technical theater. So it sort of depends on who we have to teach. And then I sort of create the summer and curriculum out of that. And then at the end of the summer, we always do a final performance. Some summers, that's been something that me and the kids sort of devise and put together based on the classes they're in. Some summers, it's like an actual written play. So it just sort of varies from summer to summer. We always have a good time. We do field trips and different enrichment opportunities as well.
Who wouldn't want to do that? I mean, that sounds amazing.
We have a good time.
Yeah, that's really great. And then you also have coming up in the next season, you've got some performances.
Absolutely. So we finished season 48 with Radio Golf, and then this fall we will be starting season 49. Has not been announced yet, but please visit our website for the announcement. We will likely have a musical, another period piece, drama, and some comedy as well. So,
looking forward to that.
Indeed.
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to mention? Did we cover everything?
I think so. Just if you are looking to get involved, please visit our website. There are plenty of ways to get involved. If you would like to support, we are always looking for volunteers, as well as any other type of support. So please get involved. We'd love to have you at the theater.
Okay. Well, that sounds great. And we will post all that information in our notes to the podcast. So all everyone has to do is at the bottom of the podcast, check out those show notes so you can get involved, show your support, or give your support, both, participate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful. And to all our listeners, thank you for listening to another episode of Confluence Conversations. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts. And thanks for listening.